It was a cold November morning in 1998 when a young woman's body was found in a remote wooded area just outside of Asheville, North Carolina. She had no identification, no wallet, and no belongings except for a small silver locket around her neck. Inside the locket was a faded photograph of a young boy, no older than 5 or 6. The police had no leads, no witnesses, and no way to identify her. She became known as Emily Lane, a name given by the local media after the street where her body was discovered. For years, Emily Lane's identity remained a mystery. The police tried everything: fingerprint databases, dental records, missing persons reports, but nothing matched. The only clues they had were the locket, a pair of worn-out sneakers, and a single ticket stub to a Dave Matthews Band concert from 2 weeks prior. The case went cold, and Emily Lane became just another Jane Doe, forgotten by all but a handful of detectives who couldn't let it go. That was until 2018, when a group of amateur sleuths on Reddit decided to take matters into their own hands. I first heard about Emily Lane from a post on the Unresolved Mysteries subreddit. The user, who went by the handle Cold Case Hunter, had compiled all the available information about the case: the locket, the concert ticket, the description of her clothing, and the autopsy report. She was estimated to be between 18 and 25 years old, with long brown hair and a small tattoo of a butterfly on her left ankle. The post ended with a plea: does anyone recognize her? Does anyone know who she might be? I was hooked. There was something about her story that stuck with me. Who was she? Where did she come from? And why had no one come forward to claim her? The post quickly gained traction. Hundreds of users chimed in with theories, leads, and suggestions. Some thought she might have been a runaway. Others speculated that she was a victim of human trafficking. One user even suggested that the boy in the locket might be her son, and that she could have been a young mother trying to start a new life. But the most promising lead came from a user named MUSICLOVER92. They pointed out that the Dave Matthews Band concert ticket stub was from a show in Charlotte, North Carolina, just a few hours from where Emily's body was found. They suggested that she might have been following the band on tour, a common practice among fans known as Daveheads. Armed with this new information, the Reddit community sprang into action. Users began scouring old concert photos, fan forums, and social media groups dedicated to the Dave Matthews Band. They were looking for anyone who might have known Emily, or at least someone who matched her description. One user, CONCERTQUEN87, shared a photo from the Charlotte show. In the background of the picture, barely visible, was a young woman with long brown hair and a butterfly tattoo on her ankle. She was wearing a locket. The photo was a breakthrough. It confirmed that Emily had been at the concert, and it gave the sleuths a clearer image of what she looked like. But it still didn't answer the most important question: who was she? The next clue came from an unexpected source. A user named Locket Lady reached out to the moderators of the subreddit. She claimed that the locket Emily was wearing looked identical to one she had seen in a thrift store years ago. She even had a photo of it. The locket in the photo was a perfect match, right down to the engraving on the back: "Forever in my heart." Using the photo, the sleuths traced the locket back to a small jewelry store in Greenville, South Carolina. The store's owner, an elderly man named Mr. Thomason, remembered selling the locket to a young woman in the late 90s. He couldn't recall her name, but he did remember that she had mentioned traveling to see the Dave Matthews Band. The pieces were starting to come together. Emily had been in Greenville. She had attended the Dave Matthews Band concert in Charlotte, and she had been found in Asheville. But there was still one missing link: her identity. That's when Cold Case Hunter had an idea. They created a digital reconstruction of Emily's face, using the autopsy photos and the concert photo. They posted on Reddit, along with a heartfelt plea: "This is Emily Lane. She was someone's daughter, maybe someone's mother. Please help us bring her home." The post went viral. It was shared thousands of times on social media, and news outlets across the country picked up the story. Within days, tips started pouring in. One of those tips came from a woman named Sarah Mitchell. She had seen the post on Facebook and immediately recognized the face. It was her sister, Jessica. Jessica Mitchell had gone missing in 1998, just a few weeks after attending a Dave Matthews Band concert in Charlotte. She had been struggling with addiction and had left home to find herself, as she put it in her last letter to her family. They had never heard from her again. Sarah contacted the authorities, and a DNA test was arranged. The results confirmed what she already knew in her heart. Emily Lane was Jessica Mitchell. Jessica's family finally had closure after 20 years of uncertainty. They held a small memorial service for her, where they buried her ashes next to her parents. The locket, which had been returned to them, now hangs in a place of honor in their home. As for the Reddit sleuths, they celebrated their victory, but also reflected on the bittersweet nature of the case. They had solved a mystery, but they had also uncovered a tragedy. Jessica's story was a reminder of the countless other Jane and John Does still waiting to be identified, and of the families still searching for answers. The case of Emily Lane and Jessica Mitchell became a rallying cry for the online true crime community. It showed the power of the internet to bring people together, to solve mysteries, and to give a voice to those who can no longer speak for themselves. Jessica's story didn't end with her identification. Her family started a foundation in her name, dedicated to helping missing persons and their families. They also worked with law enforcement to improve the way missing persons cases are handled, ensuring that no one else would have to wait 20 years for answers. As for me, I'll never forget the day I stumbled across that Reddit post. It changed the way I see the world. It showed me that even in the darkest corners of the internet, there is light, there is hope, and there are people who care enough to keep searching, no matter how long it takes. So, if you ever come across a story like Jessica's, don't scroll past. Take a moment to look, to listen, and to care. You never know, you might be the one to bring someone home.